Hey, how's it going? This is my third time trying to record this, so hopefully this time works. I've been trying to make a video on this, but it keeps being too depressing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing every once in a while, but I don't want to keep those as the same vibes all the time, so we're going to try this. Hopefully we'll get it right. I wanted to talk about being a bad person, because I think this is something that usually people ask themselves. I've asked myself this a lot recently in the last couple of years. It's something that I think about all the time. And I think that it's something that usually people, I'd say the average person thinks about once or twice in their life, but sometimes if you're maybe like me, you think about it all the time. And it can be really hurtful, but I think it's a good conversation, and I think that it's something worth talking about. So yeah, let's get into it. As I've been growing up and as I've been kind of thinking about my past and things I've used to do and behaviors that I used to have, a lot of the time it's hard not to cringe and think about, like, am I a bad person or was I a bad person? I think usually this comes up when you're laying in bed at night and you're staring at the ceiling and you can't stop thinking about something cringe or weird, or maybe you were rude or something that you did a long time ago. And it really messes with you. And I've been dealing with that a lot. I'll think about so many things that I've done, maybe to my friends or family, or how I've treated just people that I care about. And it hurts. I'll be at work sometimes and I'll get like a flashbang to my brain thinking about something stupid that I did a long time ago. And I've gotten more comfortable over the years, just realizing I think I was just young. I was stupid, and we were all like that. We've all done things when we were 15, 14, 13, whatever. They look back on. And maybe you're older and you're thinking about your 20s or what have you, and you're still cringing about stuff like that. And I think that's okay. This video has always been short because I've recorded this video like 3 times already, and it's always been short because I really don't have an answer. And I usually try to have a definitive answer for everybody, because at the end of the day, these videos are just about me and me talking about myself, and I don't want to project things onto other people. And there are, of course, things like crimes or things that maybe you would describe as like heinous or horrible things to do, that if someone does, you could maybe safely say, yeah, they're probably not a great person. But I think when it comes to the average person, for example, me or you, if you're watching this video, someone who just plays video games, or someone who's just going about their daily life, going to work every single day, and is not doing these awful things, it can be really hard, and it can be something that can really torment you. Maybe that's a strong word to use, but at least for me, it has made so many days for me miserable, because I just can't get out of this cycle of thinking about these things that I've done over and over again. And what has really helped me kind of define what I think is a good or bad person is looking at a time frame. Let's say for the time I was 15 to now, which at least for me has been the years where I've done maybe things that I'm not proud of. And I can look, okay, am I the same person I was when I did this thing? And if I'm not, which I don't think I am, I think I've grown a lot, then I can maybe safely say, I'm not a bad person. And for me, it's even hard. It's hard for me to say whether I am a good or bad person, because if I say I'm a good person, there's a part of me that's afraid. I'm afraid that I'm going to go back into these behaviors, that I'm going to fall back into these things that I'm not proud of. And if I say I'm a bad person, I feel like it turns way too far into self-loathing. And self-loathing is a whole other topic, but I think in some instances it can be helpful, but in this one specifically, I don't necessarily think that it is super helpful. I think it can be great when, you're laying in bed at night and you're just self-loathing to yourself necessarily, and over again, you're thinking of this same scenario, and maybe it can help you come to some realization so that you don't repeat that. But I think we've all maybe had this one person who is constantly doing things that are annoying or weird or rude, and at the same time, while not trying to change at all, they're complaining about how they think they're such a bad person. I think we've all probably met someone like that, and it's definitely annoying. So I think it's really important to kind of balance how you think about stuff like that. But going back to the time frame, if I look at how I was when I was 15 to now, I don't think I'm the same person. I think I'm almost a completely different person. I've talked to people in my past recently, and I've made it clear, like, I have forgotten so many of these things even happened. I've blocked them out from my memory, and I don't think that's healthy. But at the same time, I don't think I'm even the same person anymore. When I reconnect with these people, half the time it feels like I'm having a conversation with an entirely different person, and it's the same for them. I think I've said this before, but maybe if you're an older person, it's harder to give them the benefit of the doubt, because usually they've had this ingrained mindset for so long, and it's really hard for them to change. But let's say you're like me, and you were 13 at the time, and you did something, and you're still thinking about it when you're 20, when you're in your, I don't know how old you are. I think that it's okay to let that stuff go. Let's say it is something serious that did affect people. I think that looking on that and realizing what you did and trying to change off of that is okay. But I think letting it affect your daily life, I know, just don't think about it, is not a great It's not a great answer you probably want to hear, but really, it's not worth, I think, your time and the disrespect that you're giving to yourself. And I need to be clear, I'm a huge hypocrite. I still do this all the time, but these, I think, are things that I tell myself. I try to tell myself, it's okay. I was 15. It's okay. I was 14. Like, I'm not doing these things anymore, and they don't even affect my current life, so why am I still sitting here thinking about it? I think it's really important in a lot of aspects of your life to have self-respect, which sometimes is really hard. I think sometimes it's hard to have self-respect when you just can't stop thinking about all these things that I think if you saw someone else do, you wouldn't give that same respect to the other person. But having self-respect is really important, and I think even just acknowledging that is the first step. Maybe you don't make any actual effort to change or do anything, but if you have that in the back of your head that you want to, and it is something that you truly do want, I think you will get closer to where you want to be. I don't necessarily believe in like manifesting or anything like that, but I think at least when it comes to stuff like this, I think it can genuinely help, especially if it is something, and this is the important part, that you really do want, and that you really do want to do. This video is a little short, just because it's a bit of a weird topic. I don't want it to turn into too depressing. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's video. Real quick though, I did want to ask what kind of gameplay you guys like. Personally, I really like TF2 and Call of Duty, and I think most of you guys probably do enjoy just TF2. But yeah, let me guys know what would you prefer in the comments. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I don't know, all that cringe stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.